A leading retail pharmacy in South Africa has been forced to suspend business after protests outside a number of its stores. The outrage is over a marketing campaign which described black hair as dull and white hair as normal. The pickets were organized by South Africa's radical left-wing party, the EFF. The party supporters demonstrated outside several Clicks pharmacy stores across the country. The company has pulled the advert and apologized. But the EFF wants the retail chain shut for 5 days, so it suffers revenue losses.
So we're here to stop Clicks from operating. If they open, we enter. If they open, we're going to enter, and there will not be any operation that is going to exist here. And there's not any form of court order or any intimidation that is going to stop us from protesting against racism. If they want physical confrontation, we dare them to open this place. We said that they must close all the stores or we'll close them ourselves.
And I'm now joined by Khanyi Magubane. She's a journalist in Johannesburg. Welcome to DW News Africa, Khanyi. Tell us more about this advert and the response that it's provoked.
Thank you very much to you, Christine. Let me just start by giving a little bit of context. On the website of Clicks, which is a dispensary, which is a chemist, and it sells all kinds of products all across the country, there was an advert which was placed on their website which showed different textures of hair. They were advertising a Tresemme product, so it wasn't a Clicks product. There was a company called Tresemme that was advertising hair products, and it showed different textures of hair. And they had black women's hair listed as dry, dull, and brittle, and they had white women's hair listed as normal. And this sparked outrage amongst women of color all across the country, because they were drawing a comparison saying that white hair or fine straight hair is normal, whereas coarse, kinky black African hair is determined as dry, brittle, and in need of this product. And so what it did is it sparked outrage across the country. It raged on for days, with the narrative really speaking to the way that we view each other, from a color perspective, and, speaking to how a company like Clicks, which has a very large natural hair care range in its stores, how could it allow such a blatantly racist advert to be put on its website?
We've seen a lot of angry people on social media, many of them storming some of those stores belonging to Clicks. But is the whole country outraged over this?
Well, I mean, it's difficult to say which parts of the country are or are not, because there is a social media storm raging around this. And yes, definitely it's people from every corner of the country, but most especially people who are on social media. Just to give you an idea, there was an elderly woman today in the Western Cape who went to get her medication at Clicks like she usually does. And when she arrived there, she found the store closed, and she was not aware of what was happening. And she found members of the EFF protesting outside the store. So definitely those who are not plugged into social media or are plugged into general news will most likely miss what's happening. But we should not underestimate the size of the outrage. Definitely women, even those who are wearing weaves or wigs, even they too have found themselves, criticized, because they were saying that, well, maybe Clicks is just, reflecting how black women themselves feel about their hair, because we don't wear our hair natural. We prefer to wear other textures of hair. So in terms of the size of the outrage, I definitely say it's widespread across the country, but it has certainly spilled over to other, regions. We've seen people commenting in solidarity of what has happened who are not in South Africa.
I think the main question is, how is an advert like this possible in a country where most of the people, majority of the population is black?
Okay, we need to understand that on a daily basis, in the media, in social media, in the mainstream media, whiteness is regarded as normal. okay, and anything else that is not white is the default position or is the exception. How is it possible? Let's look at the creative agencies. Who are the creatives behind some of these campaigns? It's people who don't have an experience of being black. It's white creatives that are sitting together, and in their minds, or they say that they did not put color to a person's hair, but they literally just looked at a texture. So there's almost an oblivion in terms of why there would be anger towards a campaign that lists white women's hair as normal and black women's hair as dry, brittle, and dry, you know. So the anger emanates from the oblivion that is there towards racial sensitivities. You know, you're dealing with a company like Clicks that has a white management with a white agency, with white creatives, you know, and for the most part, there is a lack of understanding in terms of representation. Representation matters in the public space. And so in a country like South Africa in 2020, of course, it's definitely still possible to have a campaign of this sort because there hasn't been transformation in the areas that count the most, and that is in the creative agencies, and that is in the marketing departments.
Right, that's Kanye Magubani, journalist in Johannesburg. Thank you, Kanye.